The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood Redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Success is the new black, featuring in-depth interviews with today's top businessmen and women. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood Redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Success is the New Black.
Yeah, I just gotta let that ride for a minute. I grew up with this music right here. So for real.
You ain't make no babies on that.
Nah, not yet. Not off of that one. Not off that cut. Oh man, I'm Rome Moore. This is Success is the New Black on Black Hollywood Live. My co-host English Cleveland, she is not here, so shout out to her because she is in New Orleans celebrating her birthday. So shout outs to her. But I am joined in studio by the one and only CEO of Wealth Nation Entertainment, the deal maker himself, Mr. Rob Terell. How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm blessed, brother. I'm so happy to be here with you, Rome. You know, just excited to be in Cali and
Yeah, man.
new environment, man.
Yeah. I was about to say, coming out of the A, what's the weather like down in the A right now?
Well, when I left, it was nice. I mean, it was, you know, it was actually nicer than it is out here right now. But,
Oh wow, man! Don't say that. Don't say that.
nah, we ain't got no palm trees and nothing like that.
Well,
so,
yeah, the beach and the palm trees. So you know, I give you that. I give you that.
Right,
you guys
right.
can have better weather for a minute. You know,
Right. Well, you know, I'm from New York, so coming from New York, I'll take either one now. you know.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So let's get into it, man.
Okay.
You CEO of Wealth Nation.
Right.
You got musical artists all over the place. You started in the Bronx. Well,
Right.
you grew up in the Bronx, right?
Grew up in the Bronx.
So you grew up in the Bronx doing the boogie down Bronx.
Straight up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. KRS-One, like, you know.
Yeah.
That era. That was.
That was what I like to call, and it's so sad, but I gotta say it. It was like the golden age of hip hop.
It was. It truly was.
Yeah.
No question.
I feel bad for the kids growing up now because they didn't have the quality that we had then.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not even close.
What was that like growing up right when
man.
hip hop was hitting its stride and finding itself?
It was amazing, man, because, you know, during that time, it was just like music was real. It was true music. You know, it was
Yeah.
hip hop. It was the essence of hip hop. You know,
Yeah.
you would go to block parties and, you know, and they'd be out there jamming, Grandmaster Flash and, you know, just artists out there just doing it, man. It was just like an era where, you know, Rakim and all of, you know, Eric B and Rakim and all, like, that music that I still,
Yeah.
you know, that
It still gets to you.
I'm telling you, man,
Yeah.
I can't even explain it, man. But it was, I was right in the heart of that. Me and my partner Jamie O, when we grew up together in the Bronx, we were right in the heart of that, you know. So, just kind of watching that evolve. You know, Russell was running around during that time, you know, doing his thing.
That was his beginning.
That was his beginning. He was running around, you know, throwing concerts and Run DMC and all of them. Everybody was just getting off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So just to watch their careers develop and, you know, build a fan base from the bottom up, like grassroots movement, you know, that's what it was.
Cool. Well, let me ask you this, man, because a lot of people have that story. A lot of people have, you know, I was in New York, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm from the Bronx, I'm from Queens.
Right.
You know, I grew up with the music and that, but you also grew up with a business acumen.
Yeah.
And where did that come from? Like, are your parents into business? Like, how did that start?
Well, you know, actually, I'm self-taught, really.
Oh,
in the
wow.
business. I'm really self-taught. You know, what happened with me was that one of my other best friends, Leo Swift Morris, who's an engineer, actually, who's engineered for everybody, Latifah, Tribe Called Quest, all of those groups, De La Soul.
Yeah.
We working out of a studio in Manhattan called Calliope Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I had no interest or talent for engineering or anything like that.
Right.
But what happened, interestingly enough, was that because he was doing his thing, he was so passionate about, you know, the music,
Mm-hmm.
he needed somebody he didn't know anything about the business. So he was like doing deals with no contracts, no paperwork, and he kept getting screwed over.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
not getting his publishing, not getting, whatever it was he was supposed to get.
Yeah.
And because I was his boy, I was his friend, he's like, yo, you got to help me.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you got to help me. Like, I need some help with this because I just want to do the music.
Mm-hmm.
And, and that's how I get a lot of people that come to me even now with the same thing. But that's how, so me wanting to help him, I started reading books, researching, going online, stuff like that. And I actually started, that's how I got impregnated with wanting to do the business.
Okay.
Now, since then, later on, since then, of course, I've got my master's in business, and I'm a certified financial advisor and a few other titles. But that's where it started for me, wanting to be on the business side of the business.
Okay. Yeah. Understanding those numbers.
And the first deal that we did was with a group called Trends of Culture. Trends of Culture had a deal on the table from Tommy Boy, another offer from Jive RCA, and he was their producer, Leo Swift Morris. He was their producer. And so again, it was like, oh man, they got this deal. So-and-so want them, Jive want them, this one want them, I want to make sure that they don't get screwed. You got to help.
Yeah, I want to make sure his artists are protected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was kind of advising him and advising them in the background, putting in my little 2 cents.
Yeah.
And well, hey man, you really supposed to get this up front. You really supposed to get that on the back end, and yada 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 yada. And then before I knew it, was like I kind of fell into this role of being a manager.
Okay.
And that's where it started for me. That was like what? That was like 87, 88.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah.
How is it? Because so many artists get taken advantage of by the record companies and stuff like that. When you see that happening, does it almost like drive you crazy? Like, man, talk to me first. Like anybody that knows what's going on. Like, what happened to TLC in their early years? Not, I ain't saying nothing against Pebbles or nothing like that.
You went there, boy. You went there, bro.
But it's some stories out there. Everybody saw the movie.
Right.
But does that like concern you? Is that still a very prevalent practice right now in the industry?
Absolutely. The independent artists, they have gotten a little smarter, I will say, a little bit more business savvy. There are more out there now that are more business savvy than there ever was back in that era.
Yeah.
However, there's still a substantial amount of artists that just don't know the business side of the business and have no desire really to learn that side of the business.
Yeah, got to.
They just want to make music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just want to make music, and they have this kind of presumptuous attitude about it. Like, since I'm so talented and I'm so gifted, everything else is going to work out.
Yeah, and it doesn't always happen
and
like
it
that.
doesn't always happen like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so they find themselves in situations where they're very unfavorable situations for them. And in many instances, it's very hard to get out of those situations.
Yeah.
It could be a very long time, and your career is now on hold. It's on pause, And so that's they really need to have some. Here's the other thing is that some of these guys have people around them that are their homeboys. They grew up together, or they party together, or they've been supporting them. That doesn't necessarily make them a business manager.
Yeah.
Or somebody that should be handling your business affairs and even more importantly, your financial affairs, which are both interconnected.
Yeah. That's it, because that's their lifeblood.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't have little Roscoe down on the corner, running numbers for you.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
You got to have somebody with some experience.
Right. You don't want little Roscoe talking to a John Ferguson, who's a VP, or Neil Levine or somebody like that, who's a 20-year, 30-year veteran, and he's negotiating the deal specs on your behalf.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work out in your favor.
You're gonna get ate alive.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's shoot back to high school, man, because I read something about you that I got to ask you about, man.
Oh man.
Because in LA, it's one thing to have a lot of talent coming out of some schools, but you went to high school with Heavy D, Pete Rock, and CL Smooth.
Yep, all of them. We all went to Mount Vernon High School together.
Oh wow, man! Mount Vernon is. A
Mount
couple of
Vernon.
other people came out of Mount Vernon.
A whole lot of people
Yeah.
came out of Mount Vernon. You know, Denzel Washington.
Yep.
You know, a whole lot of people. So this little town of 4 square miles, literally, because that's what it is, 4 miles, 4 square miles in any direction, had a school, Mount Vernon High School, that so much talent came out of that school. And when I was going there, yeah, you know, Hev was there, Pete Rock was there, CL was there, Troy was there, you know, Trouble T. Roy, and all of them. We all going to that school at the same time.
Wow.
So yeah, so I watched that whole movement develop right from out of
right
that
in
school.
front of you. Yeah.
I'm talking about from the lunchroom,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. From banging on the
from
cafeteria
banging on the
tables.
cafeteria tables.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they spitting. And there's another guy who's now a comedian, who was also came from that school, who I went to school with, which is Talent.
Oh wow.
So Talent, you know Talent?
Yeah. Yeah. I heard
Talent.
that.
Talent went to that school.
Everybody went to Mount Vernon, man.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just was at Eddie F's birthday party last week at Apache in
Yeah.
Atlanta, and me and Eddie was talking, you know,
Yeah.
because I haven't seen him in forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Eddie F, back in his early stages, one of his first DJ parties was at my boy's crib on in the building, the same building that I lived in, and I was
Yeah.
reminding him of that, and he was like, "Oh man," he was.
Monsters in the game now,
Yeah,
but back then,
right.
Yeah, watching the
He
man.
got paid like I think it was $200 to DJ that night. He was supposed to be there for 4 hours, and he ended up staying for like 6-7 hours.
Yeah, just rocking.
This
the
was
joint.
in a 2-bedroom apartment in Mount Vernon in the plazas.
Yeah.
DJ Eddie F
Doing
on the
it.
1 or 2
That's,
doing
man,
it.
that's how it started,
I'm
though.
telling you,
yeah,
man.
that's it. That's how it starts.
We watched the whole movement. We was there.
Wow, yeah, because I met Hev when he out in 2005. Man, because I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
Okay.
Yeah, and I met him. He was getting ready. He was working with Delroy Lindo. He was doing a play, I think Medal of Honor rag, and they were rehearsing at our school. And that was my first time meeting him. I knew about him from years and years, but that was my first time actually meeting the brother, and he was nothing but nice to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
he's
so
just
cool.
oh man, Hev was just extraordinary. Like he was just even when he really didn't change much at all, in my opinion, from just seeing him around the way, Hev, what's up? Da da da. He was the same person even when he blew up.
all the way through.
All the way through.
Cool.
You know?
Well, who were your musical influences back then?
Oh man, back then.
Because I mean, you coming from everything from the Motown sound was still playing. Mama still had that box
Right,
of
right.
albums. You know it. And
Boy, you put me out there, bro. Boy, you put me out there, bro. Man, bro, you ain't right. Man.
I know my mama had the box of albums. That's how you know your mama had a life before you. She got
Right,
that
right.
box of albums of music
Right.
that you never thought she'd listen to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, back then, man, I was a huge, and still am today, huge Eric B. and Rakim.
Cool,
I'm
yeah.
listening to them.
Legends.
Public Enemy.
Of course.
Oh man, I was, I was walking around with the Fight the Power piece hanging over around my neck and all that, man. I was, militant back then too,
Yeah, yeah.
But Public Enemy, KRS-One.
Of course. Yeah.
The Bridge is Over, that whole thing with him and MC Shan, and that's who I was listening to.
Yeah.
I was even slick listening to Salt and Pepper because
Yeah.
I mean that was all part of that same movement, that same era. So Pete Rock and CL Smooth, of course. Everybody coming out of Mount Vernon, I was a huge fan.
Yeah. You
You
had
know,
to be.
them. I was living there.
Yeah.
And I was a part of it. So, I was always been a fan of just about the pure music and, lyricism. I'm a real true hip hop fan. And I just like when they was really, putting it down like that. You know what I mean? Just putting it down raw.
and nice lyrics, nice passion.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just over some straight hip hop beats.
Yeah. Just give me a 616 and repeat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where I come from. So that's always like a part of me that I'm always going to be a fan of that. And I see it going back to that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Slowly but surely.
Exactly. LL Cool J, of course. That whole Def Jam squad, everybody, Slick Rick, that whole Def Jam movement was crazy.
Slick Rick the Ruler.
Slick Rick the Ruler.
Yeah.
The Ruler's back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, so now in your position, you have the ability to change the game because, you're running Wealth Nation. But back then, there were, and forgive me if I forget anybody, but you had Andre Harrell with Uptown. You had L.A. Reid with LaFace.
Right.
And then you had Suge and you had Puff.
Right.
Those were those four major monsters that everybody remembers.
Exactly.
Did you ever see yourself back then? Did you see yourself moving toward that position of running your own company?
Not really. Back then, I really didn't see myself being, when I really felt like, who was my guy? Chris Lighty.
Okay. Yeah.
Chris Lighty is, somebody that I wanted to be like and emulate.
Okay.
When I watched what they did with Violator.
Yeah.
Him and Mona. But I looked up to those guys. My idol, my hero then was Russell. Mm-hmm. And watching his grind and seeing how he was moving, Yeah,
but Russell did it bigger than pretty much all of them.
All of them put together, as far as I'm concerned. And so if I wanted to be like anybody, I wanted to emulate anybody, it would have been Russell.
Okay.
Because there was different elements of each one of those guys that I just couldn't see myself, doing and being like them. The success, of course, everybody want to be the end result of the process, which is, to be successful. Yeah, absolutely. But I just liked his style. Russell, talking about Russell Simmons, his style and how he was moving. And even to this day, because of some of the pictures that are out there, people like, oh, that's little Russell, that's baby Russell.
Yeah.
They look at me like, man, Baby Russ. I get that all the time. It's like, man, Rob, you look like Russell, man. Especially
but you're not doing
picture.
the yoga, though.
No, I'm not doing the yoga, man.
Don't do the yoga.
I am meditating, though.
Okay, now that's good. That's good. It keeps your mind clear.
Yeah. I'm doing that, man. But, so, that's always been my thing, man. I just wanted to do right by the artists.
Yeah.
And give them, the information, because the information is what's powerful. Having the right information and then knowing how to execute, strategically and methodically, knowing what you're doing, how to execute it.
Okay.
And that's really was my focus, and that still is my focus to this day. I just been named regional director for the South by Bungalow Universal.
Okay, major.
Yeah. So that, you actually are getting that before it's even put out to the public. But if you go, so you this breaking news?
Yeah, breaking news. That's a Black Hollywood Live
Black
breaking
Hollywood
news
Live,
update.
right. Listen, you got it before it's even out there. But if you go to bungalowrecords.com, I'm already up on the site and everything, and
cool.
And regional director. So I'm over the South.
Okay. Explain to the people who know nothing about the industry what that means, what that title means.
Well, what that means is that all of the artists and producers and everyone that's gonna, that's looking to do a situation with Bungalow Universal, because Bungalow is coming back now, the Bungalow 2.0. So we're on our way. We're coming back, and anybody in that South market, Atlanta, Memphis, Florida, all of those markets, they have an opportunity to come to me, and based on what they have going on, if it makes sense, then, we can go from there. We can go from there.
Cool, yeah. So bring your talent, Southern MCs. Come on, I'm from Alabama, so we got thousands. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you ready to sit down and listen to all those demos, man?
Oh my gosh, man. I don't know. I'm looking for acts that really have a real true buzz, people that have been working. Really working. My motto is there's no movement without movement.
Yeah.
So people that have been working the regional market and even maybe national market, putting in that work, artists that have invested in themselves, you know, and looking to take things to that next level and understand the new music business, the new music dynamic.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's not, you know, it ain't no A&R development
Yeah.
and all of that. That's over with. You got to come to the table ready,
Okay.
you know, so we can add water and stir.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we at.
Ready-made acts.
Ready made. Let's
Yeah,
go.
you know who you are already.
You know who you are already. Your fans know who you are. You've built a fan base, pretty decent fan base. You know, Bungalow has a very rich history, 14-year direct relationship with Universal.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had hits in every genre of music in the top 10, you know. And so I'm working with my partner, John Ferguson, who's the vice president of corporate affairs.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he said, hey, look, you know, you're doing your thing. You know, we want to bring Bungalow back, you know, Bungalow 2.0. Let's put it together. You down there in the South, let's put it together. And so, you know, we put it together, and that's where we are.
And that's why they call you the deal maker.
Yeah, the official deal maker.
The official deal maker.
Official deal maker. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about Bungalow 2.0, and I'm really excited about working with all of these talented artists in the South.
Yeah.
I'm looking to break some major records coming out of the South this year and next year.
Yeah, and you will, man, because there's a lot of hungry people. There's a lot of hungry MCs down there.
Tell them to get at me, man. Tell them to get at me.
I will now. You sure you ready for all of that?
I'm ready, man.
All right, y'all heard it.
Official. Send it to officialdealmaker@gmail.com. Bring it on.
There we go. See, he put it out there.
That's it.
Man, okay, so let's jump around for a little bit. Let's go back to well, let me jump off by saying something that Kevin Hart said, and kind of jumped off what you just said. Mm-hmm. Kevin Hart has a famous quote. A lot of people don't hear it because he says it backstage, and it's everybody wants to be famous, but nobody wants to put the work in.
Right.
You started as when was that first opportunity that you got to be an intern and walk into an actual record company?
That was wow. That was Tommy Boy under Kevin Maxwell. That was like 87, 88.
Okay. How was that?
I was, well, you know, I was working with, I was working underneath a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Kevin was one of them. LaVeva Mallison, who was handling Kumo D's manager, LaVeva Mallison, I was working under his tutelage as well.
Yeah.
And I actually went to Teddy Riley's house when he was living in the projects.
Oh, wow.
In Harlem.
Yeah.
You know, and he was working on the Kids at Work album.
Oh, wow. All right, you just took me back, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so and then I had several internships, and I actually worked with when Sleeping Bag Records sold to Def Jam. Mm-hmm. Will Sokolov, Will and Juggy owned Sleeping Bag, and they separated. I went with Will. Mm-hmm. So I worked under Will Sokolov in Manhattan, in his New York office. His label was called Moonroof Records. I worked underneath them for like almost 2 years. So I learned the business. I invested in myself, running back and forth from Mount Vernon to Manhattan.
Yeah.
To the office every day on the 2 train, and leaving and getting home sometimes 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, sleeping till 11:30, 12 o'clock, and get up and do it all over again. Mm-hmm. Everything from running around, passing out flyers for shows, to working radio, to coordinating all the logistics for some of these artists with their travel itineraries and everything. Mm-hmm. So just inundating myself, just immersed myself into the business. Wanted to learn everything. But these guys taught me, you know, how to work smarter and not harder. You know, but I mean, you know, the business is the business at the end of the day. We have a saying that we got from JF, John Ferguson, that we use all the time is ATB. It's about the business. Are you about the business? If you're really about the business, then you got to live it.
Yeah.
And that's what we do at Wealth Nation. Like it was crazy when we was walking around here, you know, looking at how everything is set up here. I was just thinking about how we're set up. And really our whole team, we all live together.
Yeah.
And we do the business 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Every day. It's not like somebody has a job, you know, working part-time at Walmart or, you know, CVS or whatever. This is what we do all day, every day, 7 days a week. So it's just like
grind's like that.
Yeah, the grind is like that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it takes to win.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's really what it takes to win.
How you think I got you in here, man?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I looked at your grind and I'm like, I gotta do it.
Yeah, cool. Man, dude, I appreciate it. And shout out to Ashley for giving me the connect to you and get you
I
in here.
came all the way here from the A.
Yeah,
for
man.
you, brother.
From the ATL.
That's
and
right.
we definitely appreciate it, bro.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Because you did not have to do it.
No, I was going to try to call in or something.
Yeah. See, can we Skype? Can we Skype it?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, nah, but we're definitely gonna get Wealth Nation even more known.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
that. Well, that's what
it.
that's what we want. That's what we want. We really trying to get the brand out there. You know, we consider ourselves to be a brand management firm, and that's what we want. So shout out to my man DJ Jamie Yo, the brand builder, my right hand man. Shout out to him. He couldn't make the trip, but you know.
But hey, man, y'all coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know. We hadn't even talked about that yet. I'm just saying, hey, you coming back?
Right. No doubt, no doubt.
I want to get the whole team in here one day, man. We're gonna have like two, 4, 6 of your artists and line them all up.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna break a single.
That.
Yeah,
we're gonna break a single. That's what it is.
Yeah, we'll do something huge out here, man. Yeah. So and now you know you're about to get mad at me now. Cause I gotta ask you, man.
Oh,
I gotta ask you.
Come on.
I gotta do it.
Come on, bro.
So, man, you know, you're deep on the business side. You know your numbers. You're bright. You're smart. You got all of that. But I heard you wanted to be an artist at one point.
Oh, man.
You can't grow up with all of that talent and not want to be an artist at some point.
Bro, you researched too well. I don't know how you dug that up. Oh, man. I don't know how you dug that up, but you got me. You got me.
We go. We do our thing. Yeah.
So, I don't know. You got some insider, but yeah, I at one point was an aspiring artist.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get a record deal.
Oh.
With Moonroof Records.
Okay.
Which was, like I said, Will Sokolov's company.
Yeah, the company you were just speaking about.
And that I ended up working for by default.
Okay. That just happened. Wow, man.
That's what happens when you have a single come out.
Yeah.
And I had a record called No Pork in My Fried Rice.
Okay.
And
that had to be the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they put it on, Will signed me to a single, to an album deal. And it was crazy because my rap name was Prodigy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my rap name was Prodigy before
Prodigy. Yeah.
Okay. And that record came out, and I'll never forget. Me and my DJ CO, we was at his house. We were having a release party.
Mm-hmm.
His mom had cooked all his food. We had all our friends over and everything. The record was played on the biggest station, one of the biggest stations in New York at the time. I think it was Power 99 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they put it on Make It or Break It.
Uh-oh.
And when they had that sound effect like,
yeah,
and they shattered the record in like 10 million pieces. And I'm sitting there like, what just happened? All our friends are there with us. And everybody's in this celebratory mode, and they play the record, and so they had the people call in and give, so what do you want to do? No Pork in My Fried Rice by Prodigy. Make it or break it. And it was too many people that broke it.
Yeah.
And after that, that was the end of my rap career.
They kind of let you know, like,
let me know, like, I need to stick to the business.
Yeah. But Sokolov came in and said,
Right.
"Hey, man, this."
So Sokolov, so it's so funny, right? Because after that, right, Will brought me in the office. He said, "Prodigy," he said, "I like you, man."
You already know.
He said, and I think you know the end of the story, right? And he gave me a job, and the rest is history.
He said, "Hey, man,
said,
this rap thing, but you have a lot of other qualities we really like here.
Right.
So what we're going to do is give you a regular job.
Right.
Yeah.
I worked so hard to get that deal too, man. Oh man, you understand? Yeah. So, but what was good about it though? Experiencing the grind of trying to get on, trying to get signed.
Yeah.
I went through that whole process as an artist, so I understand that plight.
Yeah.
So
when somebody's faking the funk when they just show up and say, "Yo, I'm an MC, put me on," and you're like, "Okay, show me something."
Right.
Yeah. And now all they got is a Hot 16, and that's it that they wrote 3 weeks prior, but they don't have the crowd, they don't have the self financing, they haven't thrown money into themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They haven't invested. I mean, there's no way around it, especially now. I mean, you got to invest in yourself. But even back then, it even show you even back then, and it's not just money, it was also time. But, you had to make that investment. And we would running around Mount Vernon, the Bronx, Queens, everywhere, self-promoting ourselves and investing, time, energy, and effort into getting me on.
Okay.
And I actually, and I got him, man, boy, I don't know how you came up with that one, boy, Rome.
I would tell you, but I never give up. I never give up my sources, and I have multiple sources on that one, man. So I can't even.
Man.
I'm not going to even put them out there like that. But yeah, I saw that.
You are the. I'm gonna let you know something for sure. You're the only media on planet Earth that has that story on me.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man, hey.
The only one. Nobody knows that.
I tried.
Boy, you better be lucky I like you, bro, man. Oh, man.
Man, that makes me feel good. That was your Black Hollywood Live exclusive right there. Success is the new black. The official deal maker, Rob Terell. There it is. There it is. Thank you. The official deal maker, Rob Terell.
Official.
Was an artist at one point. Yeah, just don't cringe when you say it, man. It's cool. Everybody got their
I'm
dream.
over it, man. Took some therapy and
That's it. Yeah.
I'm good now.
Yeah, man.
I'm good.
Hey, Hustle and Flow, they said every man got to have a dream. That's what Terrence Howard said. No, that was Luda. Luda told Terrence Howard that. Yeah, everybody got to have a dream. Man, so now you got this stable of artists, man.
Right.
One of the most notable of which, let me just pull up the list so I don't want to slight anybody because you got everybody from you got Soul for Real. That's why we opened up the show.
Right.
You manage Soul for Real. You manage Gunplay, Nancy Denise, Young Jamo, Benji Bugs. Lots and lots.
Just
of
got
people.
Daisy Grant. I was telling you about.
Yeah, Daisy Grant. You was just
Michelle Obama's Songs for a Healthy America.
Mm-hmm.
So she has She has the lead single off that CD. So we just signed her. Yeah, she's not even on the site yet. So there's another exclusive.
Yeah, another one. Yeah, so go pick that up, people. Go check that out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool, man. So with your stable of artists, and I know when was the point that you left NYC and you came down to Atlanta?
That was about a year and a half ago. What happened was that Gunplay was in the middle of some legal issues.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's public information.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of some legal stuff. I was working with his personal manager at the time. She was kind of putting everything together. He was just in the process of getting his solo deal with Def Jam.
Okay.
And, when these legal problems really kind of came to the forefront. And it was a mess. We had to jump in there and really kind of, because I'm his business manager. So I became his business manager. She was still handling the personal management side. And we were working together really as a team. And so his finances, all of his stuff was kind of like in a disarray. And, he wanted to just really focus on the music. So they brought me in on the team. And we really worked really hard, putting everything, the pieces back together for him. And, I think we did a really good job. He, ended up getting locked up, for a minute. And so during that time, we just tried to keep him afloat, keep him relevant. Yeah. He's not the easiest artist to deal with. You know what I mean? But he's a very talented artist. And, of course, he got the MMG team behind him, and Ross got his back. So, just being able to have the opportunity to work with, artists signed to MMG and Def Jam. And, I was able to interact with, a lot of people over at the Def Jam at UMG, in terms of stuff that needed to get done for Gun, And so basically, once that all kind of passed and he got through that, then was able to just basically get back to work. Get back to it, So that's where things are right now. Gunn is working on his album, his solo album coming out of Def Jam. And, should look out for that this summer.
Cool. Yeah, so Gunplay needs to be like, can he be like non-felony play or misdemeanor play or something. We need that brother to stop getting in trouble, man.
I know, man. I know, man. I know,
Because he's
man.
good.
He's
Like,
good.
yeah,
He's dope. He's dope.
He
Gunna's
wouldn't
dope,
be with
man.
Ross if he wasn't.
Nah, you
Yeah.
already know. You already know. He's been with Ross for forever, since going back to the beginning.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so him and Ross are really, really tight. So, you know, like I said, it was a blessing, you know, for me to have that opportunity to work with him. And I mean, we got really, really close to the point where, you know, I was over his house all the time and just, you know, grinding with him and just helping him get all of his, you know, business affairs and things in order.
Yeah.
You know, so that he could just really just focus on the music and getting that next hit record, you know, which is what everybody on the team wants for him.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, like I said, Gunna's a great artist. He's an incredible artist. Obviously, Def Jef wouldn't have signed him a solo deal if he wasn't. And so, you know, we're just rooting for him, you know, to really come up, you know, with a monstrous record, a monstrous single. And we believe that he's going to do it, you know. And like I said, with him having Ross and the whole MMG team behind him, you know, success for him is just inevitable. It's an inevitability. You know, I really believe that.
Cool. Yeah, man. So, what about Soul for Real? I gotta know.
Oh,
I gotta know because these brothers, you know, everybody, we didn't even know that they were still really like out doing music anymore.
Yeah,
I didn't know if they broke up or what.
Well, they did. They had broken up. You know, of course, you know, two of the brothers went to jail for a pretty long period of time. Brian and the other brother, they went to jail. So when Brian came home, you know, basically spring or whatever last year, and prior to that, all the brothers were basically kind of really doing their own thing. I got introduced to the group through Chalk, and Chalk was trying to do his own solo deal, his own solo situation, and I basically had to, you know, convince Chalk that I know you want to do your solo project, and I know you want to just do your thing, but the public, your fan base, they remember Soul for Real.
Yeah, that's the brand recognition.
That's the brand recognition, and that's what they want back. So we had a couple meetings. We met, was able to put the band back together, so to speak, and you know, I got them a deal. You know, through IMG, Warner Brothers, which I think, you know, is on their Wikipedia and it's out there. I got them a situation, and you know, and basically, I did, you know, sign them to a management situation, but because of reasons that I'd rather not discuss on the show, I just basically wanted to get the deal for them and then let them and walk away, let somebody else manage them.
Okay, yeah.
So that's where we at right now. They have the situation, and then Chalk has his solo deal as well through the same situation. I brokered that deal. Yeah. And you know, and it's on to the next deal for me.
Cool. Yeah, that's it, man.
You know what I mean?
All these deals, I'm gonna get the official deal maker to cut me a deal.
Hey,
man,
listen, man, that's what I do.
That's what he does.
That's what I do, man.
Yeah, man, you're gonna be my manager.
Hey, listen, man, you already on, so I mean that's easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, you can make it bigger, man. I see what you're doing.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Man.
I try to explain to people one thing that's important to know about me is that, you know, a lot of people, because Wealth Nation is a brand management firm, they automatically assume that, you know, we manage everybody that we deal with, but that's not necessarily always the case. A lot of times people will come to me just to get them a situation. Like right now, I'm working on getting a deal for Little Scrappy. I'm working on a deal right now on that. Mano.
Okay, yeah.
I'm working on a situation for him. You know, so people come to me like, hey, you know, can you help me get a situation? You help me get to that next level.
Yeah.
And depending on who they are and what the set of circumstances are, you know, really kind of dictates and determines whether or not I get in on the management side, or sometimes I'll just consult on the project and act as a broker dealer. You know, and broker the situation, which I love. And that's really how I got my name, the deal maker or official deal maker, because just brokering situations for people, you know, getting in and out of the deal, even working with their management. And sometimes we're not on the management side. It all depends. It comes in all different shapes, forms, and sizes. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is making a deal happen.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, true. So, moral of the story, have smart people in the room if you only want to focus on your art.
Exactly.
And make sure the smart people have your back.
Exactly.
Yeah,
well
'cause
said.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
Well said. Couldn't have said it any better. Absolutely.
I feel you, man. So now let's get into while we got some time. Let's get into the industry itself and your vision, because the musical industry has undergone a drastic shift over the last decade, from Napster all the way up to now. Where do you see it going? And is it pretty much just the industry moving with? Is it transitioning with the times?
Well, I mean, I think, clearly the digital age has transcended the industry completely. This is the rise of the independent era that we're living in right now. The Yo Gottis, the Macklemores, and these type of artists have shown the blueprint that, an independent artist can really do it, for themselves if they have the machinery
around
them. And that's the key critical point. So what technology has done is provided most of the pieces of the machinery that back in the day the majors would need to provide for you. So now the independents have access to all of these platforms via technology and the internet. And so an independent artist now can really make some noise and really make some significant headway with their career if they understand what the machinery is and assembly is required. So you got to have people around you that know how to put the pieces together.
Yeah, definitely.
And B, you understand how to leverage these platforms. And so, but when you look at what just happened, like the announcement of Universal bringing back Def Jam as a standalone and Island and that kind of thing, you kind of do see it reverting back to the label machinery, because with all, here's an interesting statistic for you, with all that the independents have done through TuneCore, CD Baby, and stuff like that, they still only represent like 1.2% of the annual gross sales revenue for the music industry as a whole.
Yeah.
So, with all that they've done.
Yeah.
They've
done so much, and it's still that small.
And it's still that small of a piece.
Wow.
Still the mainstream artists
are still the beast.
The beast. I mean, that's still where the money, the vast majority of the money is being made. And those mainstream artists are what? They're signed to majors.
Yeah. They're all signed to majors.
They're all signed to majors.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that tells you right there. I mean, so, you have people out there that may have an investor or, things of that nature, and that's cool. But I just feel like at the end of the day, my opinion is, because I get asked this question a million times, and my opinion is, can you make it as an independent artist, without being signed to a major? My answer is yes, contingent upon the fact that you have all of the machinery that the majors have and the money behind you to support that infrastructure. Then yes. But other than that, I think you're going to have degrees of success that you'll experience, you know what I mean? Along the way, which are small wins, and there's nothing wrong with that. But how can you compete with a Beyonce or Jay-Z?
You got a Jay-Z.
You know what I mean? Who has, $10 million bag behind a record. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Nothing
Stuff
you
like
can
that.
do. Yeah.
Well, how can you compete with that?
Yeah. It's all next to impossible.
Right.
Yeah. And jumping off of that struggle, for you personally, in this industry that we've heard, it's cutthroat. I've heard the music industry, called every single name that I can think of.
Right.
What have been some of the hard struggles that you had to overcome?
Oh man. Wow. Probably the biggest one is betrayal. Betrayal. Thinking that the people that you're working with, because we're all working together in one common goal, one cause, are really with you. But then as soon as there's $1 on the table, you know what I mean? As soon as somebody else offers them more money or offers them a better, what they perceive as a better situation, the loyalty is gone just in an instant. So that feeling of betrayal of, wait a minute, man, I thought we was together. We grinding. We running around here together, and it's like, yeah, one team, one goal, and I got your back, and, you my boy, and da-da-da-da-da. But as soon as a bag is in place, as soon as some money's in place, or, like I said, a better situation, that's when you really find out. And that's been the hardest thing for me. And that's why I have this saying, in Wealth Nation, like, La Cosa Nostra. You know what I mean? The family business, because that loyalty, I'm kind of like related to the mob. Because, you do that stuff in the mob, man, you get,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. So, so when that cutthroat kind of backstabbing thing, that's probably the biggest struggle. And then in the early stages for us, really not having no real bread to run around with.
True.
You know what I mean? That's a struggle, man. When you don't really have a lot of money, I mean, we cool now because we've been able to make some things happen, but early on, me and my partner, Jamie Yo, the brand builder, we running around with no money.
Trying to build that capital. And really trying to make a whole lot of stuff happen with a very, very little bit of money and very few resources. Yeah.
And so sticking to it and staying with it under those dire circumstances, when it's like the rent need to be paid, the car payment need to be paid, but I need money for studio time or a photo session, or I need a plane ticket to get to California or whatever, whatever it might be. And you like,
you got to juggle that. Yeah, Tupac famously said, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
You know what I mean?
Hard to be legit.
Right, exactly. Exactly, because we are legit. And so, staying legit and doing that and really staying focused, is a lot of days, man. It's been, ramen noodles and, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and, you know what I mean?
The struggle is real, but so is the success.
Man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but we here now. So, we made great strides and great improvement, and I could say I was able to afford a ticket to get out here, and it didn't have to sacrifice my rent.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, brother.
And it was right. It was right after the first too.
Yeah, it was. The first had just came up. Yeah, today is the fourth.
You messing with my bill money now.
See. Hey, well,
no, I'm just I'm messing with you.
Well, you here, and let me see. I'll keep, because I got one final shot at it I'm gonna give for this particular day, but I'll save that for the end because it has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it does have to do with success and black men in general. So people who know their history, they'll know it when I get to the end of that. So I got a couple minutes left, so I'm gonna wrap this up with. I'm gonna give you a loaded question.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be hard.
You've been loaded the whole time, so I mean, we might as well end it with a bang. I mean,
6-shooter. Oh man. Actually, call me AK-47. I'll give you this. What do young artists on the come up need to know about money in the game, outside of stuff that you've already said?
Besides the fact that they need it?
That they need it, yeah. And more importantly, how to keep it.
Right.
Because a lot of them are spending money on foolishness.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. I mean, the main thing, first of all, that they need to know is where to spend it and who to spend it with.
Okay, yeah.
Because, I mean, these young artists coming up now, man, they don't have proper guidance. So they getting beat out here left and right. I mean, I talk to some of these guys, they sound like a woman scorned, abused women. They've been abused all kind of ways, paying, $500 a pop to perform. Getting beat on features. I mean, I done sent, hey man, I sent this guy money for a feature, 2 racks, and I'm still waiting on a record. Well, you keep waiting, because you probably never see it.
That's that Craigslist deal right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're spending money on things that, I mean, these are things that they need to do, but because they don't have proper guidance and proper representation. The most important thing that I would say is proper representation.
Okay, yeah.
And dealing with all of these different aspects of the business. If you're an artist, be an artist. If you don't know the business, if you're not really about that life, and you don't really have the credentials or the experience, and neither does your homeboy or your homegirl, you know what I mean? Get at somebody like a Wealth Nation, a Rob Terell, you know, who does notice for real, that can represent you and handle your business so you don't get beat on features. You don't get beat on publishing. You don't get in situations where you don't have a proper release to release the record. So now you done paid for this feature that you got. Oh, I got a feature with Gunplay. I got a feature with so-and-so. It don't mean nothing because Def Jam and Maybach, you don't have a release from them.
Yeah.
So how you gonna put this record out commercially?
Can't put it out. Yeah.
You can't even put this record out. So what'd you just spend 4 racks for?
Yeah. You just got a nice track you can listen to in your house.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Amen. So that whole aspect of all the money that they need to spend, first of all, they gotta have bread. There's no, you know, you can forget about being in this business. You ain't got no bread, period.
Yeah, true.
You have to have bread. I don't, you know, how you come about getting your bread, whether it's through an investor, whether you trap boy, whatever you do, that's not my business. And you know,
Just
but
come to the table with the bread.
you gotta have bread.
Yeah. Yeah. Get,
You know?
get your money right. That's it.
This,
Yeah.
the artists that are disillusioned about, well, I'm dope. Yo, man, but I'm hot. But you know, I'm local hot. Everybody knows me. My man, who cares? What's your budget? You want to know how hot you are? Tell me what your budget is. You want to know if you got a hit single or hit record? Tell me what your budget is. You want to know if you're going to make it? Tell me what your budget is, and I'll tell you how far you can go.
There it is. There it is from Monster in the Game.
Official deal maker, baby.
The official deal maker. Man, I got an education today. The CEO of Wealth Nation Entertainment, Mr. Rob Terell. Man, I gotta thank you for coming through, bro.
Oh man, thank you so much. I gotta admit, this was one of the best interviews.
Oh, dude.
You were so prepared. And oh man, you went in the archives on it, brother. I got you, Rome. I owe you one. But it's been a blessing, man.
I bet I appreciate it. I thank you for coming through. 'Cause you didn't have to do it, and you chose to travel and spend this time talking to me here on Black Hollywood Live. So, for myself, for the official deal maker who was so gracious to sit in with me today, Black Hollywood Live, Success is the New Black. I'm Rome Moore. Next week I have I'm forgetting who my next guest is next week. I'm thinking. Oh, wait, no, it is Mr. Lawrence Charles from the Charles & Company Tea Company. So he'll be sitting in studio and we'll be talking to him about his entrepreneurship. Once again, I'm Rome Moore from Mr. Rob Terell. We thank you. Thank you for listening.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.